back to Block TV. Now, in this crypto sphere, there are many different projects and many different firms and companies trying to develop new technologies and new ideas. And one of those is Roll. And today we are joined by co-founder of Roll, Sid Kalla. Sid, thanks for joining us. All right, now first off, Sid, what exactly is Roll?
Yeah, so our job is to build infrastructure for social money. So what we think is that Ethereum has really unleashed this power where online creators and online communities really can own the value that they generate online away from the centralized platforms that you see in the Web2 world. So these are some unique tools that Web3 gives us, and we're pretty excited to move forward with this idea. So we have over 100 communities right now that are minted on Roll, all of them just owning the economics that they generate online.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're speaking a lot about social money. What exactly is social money?
Yeah, so behind the scenes, they're just ERC20 tokens. So they're very compatible with a lot of third-party sources. But the broad idea with what social money is it's a way for you to reward your community irrespective of the platform. And in return, the community can use those tokens for any rewards that you provide. So essentially, the flow of money kind of happens within a context of the community, as opposed to let's say like traditional dollars or traditional money.
Mm-hmm. Would you say it's accurate to describe yourselves as a Patreon for digital currency?
So we're pretty compatible with Patreon. For example, one of our creators actually has one of our rewards is through Patreon. So think of actions that are valuable to you as a community. And if you think Patreon is valuable to you as a community, then you can reward your patrons. And that's a pretty strong use case because a lot of creators on Roll do use Patreon. But broadly, what we see this as kind of going much beyond that. So it's not just, again, like Patreon by itself is like a Web2 platform where you have the relationships with your fans owned on that platform. Whereas with social money, it kind of becomes platform agnostic. And Roll is not even that platform because, ultimately you can always hold your social money in your Ethereum addresses. So we don't, you don't need to rely on us to hold your social money, for example.
Mm-hmm. Now, take me through a little bit the economics of social money.
Yeah, so very broadly, so when we started Roll, we made the decision to standardize the economics. And that has worked out really well because the whole idea of crypto economics is a very emerging field and it's also very confusing to people. So on Roll, the economics is pretty simple. We have a max cap, the max supply for each community that's capped at 10 million. 2 million of them is given to you upfront with the understanding of using that to distribute it among your existing community. And the rest of that vests over a period of about 3 years. And because this is standardized across Roll, let's say the mental bandwidth to understand this for someone who is new to social money or someone who already holds one social money but is new to another social money, that level of understanding becomes very immediate, and that provides like some very strong network effects that we have seen where it becomes exceedingly easy to hold someone else's social money once you have into that ecosystem.
Shot from your website where it actually describes the economics of your social economy. It says you determine all the ways your social money will be earned and spent by your community. There's a continuous flow of your social money from you to your community and then back to you, keeping the economy going. Now, Sid, I have a question. Have you ever seen the TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I haven't, unfortunately.
You haven't. Okay, well, there's an episode where they decide in order to stimulate their own self-sustaining economy, they put out what they call Paddy's Dollars. It's a self-sustaining economy, and I have a clip from the show. I want you to take a look.
Nice doing business with you, huh?
All right, Shanty.
Buddy.
Enjoy it.
All right, enjoy yourselves.
Boom!
Okay. Hey,
We
I
did
think
it.
we made every single one of our Paddy's dollars back,
You're
buddy.
damn right. Thus creating the self-sustaining economy we've been looking for.
That's right.
How much fresh cash did we make?
Fresh cash.
Yes.
Well, zero. Zero if you're talking about U.S. currency. People didn't really seem interested in spending any of that.
That's okay. So when they run out of the booze, they'll come back in and they'll have to buy more Paddy's dollars.
Right.
Keeping it moving.
That is assuming, of course, that they will come back here and drink.
They will. They will, because we'll redistribute these to the shanties, thus ensuring them coming back in, keeping the money moving.
Well, no, but if we just redistribute these, then people will continue to drink for free.
Okay.
How does this work, Mac?
The money keeps moving in a circle.
But we don't have any money. All we have is this. How does this work?
I
dude?
don't know. I thought you.
I thought
knew.
you. What? I thought you were on top of this.
You're the one that came up with the plan.
Did I come up with this
Last night, dude.
Oh.
With the DMB power card
I
and
blacked out. I blacked out that night.
Shit, dude, I've been following your lead.
Oh, Jesus. Ah, shit.
Okay, so we have no money and no inventory. There's still something we can do. That's still a business somehow.
Right, Sid. So that's a similar idea here. With the money that with the social money that Roll is giving out, these tokens, what exactly gives these tokens value within these communities?
Yeah, so within the community, you have to have uses on both sides. So think of, so take a digital artist, for example, which is a common use case on Roll. So your product is your art. And you can incentivize and you can distribute your social money in many different ways. So you can distribute it to your top collectors. It can go along with someone who purchases your art and the usually represented as NFTs. There can also be some things that are valuable to you. So we have seen a lot of artists, for example, reward social money to their community that provides valuable feedback to their art or to their VR gallery, the way you've set that up. Sometimes you see collaborations where you can give your social money out to someone who can help you in some way. So let's say you are you have a bit more of a technical inclination, let's say with creating a website, and you can kind of reward the community that helps you set your website up correctly with your social money. And again, like on the flip side, what you can redeem your social money for is everything from I mean, in this example, like the simplest thing will be like, hey, there's a special one-on-one first edition art piece that I made specifically for my community that's purchasable in my social money. So that's like a simple way in which you kind of close the loop on that economic system where you are giving social money out for things that are valuable to you, and people on the other side can redeem social money for things that are valuable to them.
Mm-hmm. And has any of the tokens that you guys launched yet, have they increased in value?
So trading is not our primary concern. Some of them are listed on decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. So our belief is that the value proposition for the community should come first. Again, that being said, these are liquid markets. These are ERC20s. Anyone can list them on exchanges. So yeah, indirectly, this is a bet on your community. So we do believe in that pieces of community as a digital asset. With social money, and we are seeing some early signs of life of that being true.
Mm-hmm. Now, what exactly is Roll's business model? Do you guys get a percentage of every coin that's issued?
Yeah, so we do we take 12% of every social money that's issued on Roll. So we kind of believe that our business model should be very directly in line with. When the creators make money, we make money. And if the creators don't make money, we don't make money. So we don't charge transaction fees, for example, or we don't charge any like monthly licensing fees for our software and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the big names associated with the project is Brooklyn Nets player Spencer Dinwiddie, who actually tried making a social coin of his own that would hold value by tying it to his NBA contract. In the end, the NBA did not agree to it, and it wasn't able to launch. But what do you think of this idea of professional athletes potentially being an avenue for this tokenization of their value?
Spencer is a very forward-thinking player. He's also an investor in Roll, in case you weren't aware. So he definitely sees the vision of what we're trying to do. So at Roll, really specifically, we are not interested in creating like a securities contract for future income. That is a very interesting niche, but it's just not what we want to start with. So where we start with is kind of the value just circulating and being held by the community. So insofar as professional athletes have communities that can derive value from something like this, we are obviously always happy to work with them.
Mm-hmm. And we recently spoke here on BLOCKTV about Alex Coin. Was that a social coin that was done on Roll?
Yes, it was. So Alex, the crowdfund that you saw, so the Alex token, which was $Alex, was already held by a lot of the community that's pretty close to Alex. And then he did a crowdfund with Alex, partly to help him move to San Francisco, look for better opportunities. He's out in France, and also is a very well-known entrepreneur in the space. So there was a lot of interest in what he was doing.
Now, but don't all these social coins run into the same issues that ICOs did, where essentially the holder of the coin doesn't actually hold any equity or any rights to anything? It's essentially, in Alex's case, it's essentially his word that he will provide value, that he will give certain earnings in the futures to the token holders. There's nothing actually legally binding here, is there?
Yeah, so that's true. Like there is nothing legally binding, so we don't sign a contract before you give out like $100 for social money. The contract is a social contract. So if you look at people who hold Alex, for example, those are the people who he interacts with every single day on Twitter and in his community. There's a huge social cost to trying to burn that barriers. And that's like a significant way in which, for example, this differs from like the really bad behavior we saw during the ICO seasons. But me and my co-founder were pretty deep in the space during that time and much earlier to that as well. And we have deliberately moved away from that model where there's lack of accountability. The other thing is these communities are already built, whereas for a lot of ICO projects, the fundraise itself was either about trying to save a failing company or about like a promise of a future, like hey, we're going to build something that does not exist. Whereas if you look at Alex right now, like he has several projects in the space, like he is an active community member. And the other thing, like I said, is like the people who contributed to the sale are not strangers on the internet or like your private equity funds looking to make a profit. These are people who are like very much a very close-knit part of this community.
Mm-hmm. Now, besides Alex, what other tokens of note have launched on the roll?
So like I said, we have over 100 communities on roll. Actually, we may closer to 120 or 130 right now. So we have active interest like every day. We have people filling out our type form, which is how we get people into the pipeline, like every day. So we just want to work with people who are serious about this and people who have built a community and who we think is a path forward and a way forward for them and that they can benefit from social money as well.
Mm-hmm. And what's next for Roll? Are you guys planning on continuing to grow the social token and social money community, or are there other different products in the pipeline as well?
Yeah, so see, one of the big focuses that we want to push for going forward in the near term is we're really interested in bringing the ideas of decentralization and Web3 to the Web2 audience. And we're in a pretty unique position to do that because a lot of our users are not native Web3 users. So these are not people who have installed MetaMask. These are not people who go to CoinMarketCap. These are not people who understand crypto per se. But what they really understand is that idea and sense of belonging to a community and providing value to that community. And every day we have people who come on Roll, and this is literally their own first and only blockchain asset that they've ever held. And so what we are really interested to do is like build out the rails into the Web2 world. So we think that the next 1 million to 100 million people that's going to come onboarded to the blockchain space can come from social money. So we're really excited to build out the infrastructure for that. So that's our focus.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a very crucial issue to tackle on, because the majority of people don't understand and aren't into that as well. So the onboarding is very crucial. Now, last question before I let you go. Who would you love to see launch their own coin on Roll next? If you could choose one person in the entire world, who would you choose?
Oh man, we would love to have a BLOCKTV TV social money on Roll. I think we can do a lot of things, a lot of cool things together.
Wow, bold choice. I would have went with, I don't know, maybe Brad Pitt or someone else, but a Yona Hakazer coin, fine, you had me sold. Sid, thanks so much for joining us here today, and we'd love to have you back on as well. And for all our viewers at home who want more on blockchain, crypto, and tech news, make sure to check us out at blocktv.com.
Watch us on Amazon Fire TV and Roku.